listen, you must to Whoobazoo.com.
Clark, what are you doing?
Just relax, Ellen.
This is so dangerous. We have no business being in an area like this.
Well, look at it this way, honey. This is a part of America we never get to see.
That's good.
No, that's bad. I mean, we can't close our eyes to the plight of the cities. Kids, you noticing all this plight? This will just make us appreciate what we have. Roll them up.
The booth. I share my world within the booth. The booth. This is all I do within the booth. The booth. A set of headphones, one microphone, and yo, hold the phone, I'm in the booth. The booth. I share my world within the booth. The booth. This is all I do within the booth. The booth. I got one microphone, flow glitz in the zone. Yeah, I'm the load me up, lock me in. I don't care, box me in, cause the booth got me in this brand new zone. Plug me in, turn it up, blitz gon' burn it up. Might start melting down the soundproof foam. It's one way, so it's one mode. Booth on the bus whenever I'm on the road. Lock in for days and anything goes. It's been 7 days, the same clothes. Still flowing for them dudes sitting outside on the blocks in the booth, but I'm spitting outside of the box. I know where the digits at, where the lyrics at. I ain't never losing, so I ain't gotta get it back. I got commercial music, but I still know how to spit it rap. I'm like the trees on my boots, I grew from the roots. If I'm lying, I'm flying, but I'm the truth. Only one way, my mobile or Rome. I'm underground in the booth. The booth. I share my world when in the booth. The booth. This is all I do when in the booth. The booth. I got a set of headphones and one microphone. And yo, hold the phone, I'm in the booth. The booth. I share my world when in the booth. The booth. This is all I do when in the booth. The booth. I got one microphone. Yeah, I'm in the zone. Yeah. Spaces in the booth.
Was he African?
African.
No. He was American, and he was like you. He looked just like you.
He was Jewish.
Just like you.
Okay, Jew.
Hey.
It's an odd crime for a Jew to commit.
Yeah, pretty docile.
Okay, so we have an African Jew wearing a hoodie.
No, you don't.
No.
No, that's not what I said. Is that what you heard me say? I said he looked like you. Do you look like an African Jew?
No, I look like a cop.
Yeah.
He was Caucasian.
All right, your boy Sinister One broadcasting live from the City of Champions. You are listening to The Booth. It is April 14th. The sound is going out nicely. My guest is already on the air. I got my warm-up music playing before we went live. No issues so far. Things are going good. I got to get my video straight. I already know where I'm at on my video, but I'm going to bring that video back in here. But it's your boy, Sinister One, about to go live with my man Dominic Pappas, a.k.a. rapper H.M.M.F. Haters Make Me Famous. What's up, man?
How you doing?
Nice. And if you guys want to call into the show live, 508-251-5722 is the number. 508-251-5722. Join us live in the chat on Facebook, too. We're broadcasting live out there on Facebook. So if you got any PR people or something you got going on, Dominic, they can drop whatever link. So you can go into this podcast afterwards, because this is available for podcast right after. You can drop your links in there so people can get a look at your music and your videos and give a listen and all that stuff. But as I said, again, we've got Dominic Pappas on here, a.k.a. H.M.M.F., rapper H.M.M.F., which stands for Haters Make Me Famous. How'd you come up with that, man?
It was actually funny. My sister put it on. She just put a H.M.M.F. thing, and I just seen it, and I was like, that's what I should go by. That describes me as an artist. Kind of like people, they hated because just like the first outlook of me, you know what I mean? I'm a redhead. I'm awkwardly lame, especially when I was like, younger and stuff. And haters make me famous. Y'all are going to do it for me before I do it for myself. You know what I mean?
And I was going through your Facebook while I was trying to look for pictures. As you guys are watching this show live on Facebook, you see that there's a scrolling picture, kind of like a screenshot of pictures that go by, for things involved with the show. And you'll see Dominic's picture there. But when I was on his Facebook page looking for a picture, he had a ton of pictures of when he was real young. And I was like, man, you got to be like Nas. You got to release that first album and put like a kid picture on there. You know that I think that haters make, you know, I think that one really goes, that says, well, because you had that juice, you had that swag when you was really young.
Right. Yeah. It's kind of cool because my voice never matches my face. So like when you hear my voice, you can't really picture what I look like. You know what I mean? So it's a cool little, like a technique of, I don't know, like my own technique to trick people.
Now, where are you originally from?
I was born in Boston and grew up in Quincy, Massachusetts, which is right off the South Shore and everything in Boston, that area.
Mm-hmm.
But
what got you into rap? What were your influences? You know, because, you know, Boston.
Growing up, I had an older brother. I had an older half brother. And when I was 11, 12 years old, you know, before he passed away, kind of what actually started everything. I told him I wanted to I wanted to rap. I wanted to make music. And so he started having me just battle his friends. You know, we had a 7-year difference, you know what I mean? But I was still able to hold conversation, write lines, and just, you know, freestyle, really.
Mm-hmm.
And he just kind of had me battle everyone. I just kind of built this confidence, built this H.M.M.F, really, you know what I mean? It just kind of built this artist that's, you know, not just me. It's bigger than just me, you know. But,
now, what do you prefer? Do you prefer, because I always like to ask this, because I have been involved with some battle rap events, and I've had to announce and judge. What do you like more? Because I noticed that some rappers, when you talk to them, do you like battle rapping before being in the studio? Or do you like being in the studio before battle rapping?
I started battling, not like the battling that you usually see, like the, you know, right 3 rounds. Like I see that. I haven't really done that part of it, but I started just regular freestyling. But I kind of liked getting into the booth when I got a little bit older. And I kind of liked that atmosphere. You know what I mean? I kind of like the creative part of it instead of just the aggressive part of it, you know what I mean?
Right. Because that battle rap, you got to be kind of aggressive off the dome. You got to be
which is cool. I can do it, but the older I get, the further I get in my career, I'm more looking at making masterpieces. That's kind of my thing. I want something that's, you know, not saying that you can't be aggressive and perfect it, you know what I mean? Not saying that, but just like something to be remembered, you know what I mean? That's kind of where I'm heading for.
Okay. So who inspires you in the rap music game? Pretty much growing up, Jay-Z. Jay-Z was kind of, just the fact that he was able to, like, he didn't have to say too much, but he said the world. You know what I mean? He didn't have to say too much and, like, flood lyrics. The lyrics he had were more than enough. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. That's far from me. Nice. So what I got to do, usually I ask people who the inspiration was. So if you had a chance to go back and collab with somebody who's now, you know, rest in peace, rest their soul, who would you collab with?
Big L.
Oh.
Just off of when I was, you know, freestyling when I was young, that's kind of where I, like, kind of started mimicking my style, like the 97 freestyle that he did, and just like he just let it go. Like he just had no filter. He didn't, like, you could just tell his confidence was just in, he knew what he was going to say before he was going to say it. Nice. I would love to just see that in person. You know what I mean?
Right. Nice. So here in Boston, you've been in the Boston game for a minute. Where have you performed? Have you performed anywhere? Have you been at the Middle East yet, or?
I've done the Middle East. I've done Naga a couple times. We did the Montana 300 show and the Joyner Lucas show before he actually blew up. But we did the Joyner Lucas show, and then I forget where else I went. I've been a couple places. We went out to Maine, did the Young M.A. show, Young Ma, I should say.
Nice. See, I was actually with my boys. I actually went with them. We see Joyner Lucas twice, and it's nice to say that we went to see him before he blew up because usually, and this from the Boston music scene. Usually, the Boston music scene, there's kind of a lot of hate. A lot of people really don't show their support. So it's nice to see Joyner.
It's a self-confidence issue. It's a self-confidence issue.
Get into it. Yeah, let people know because I've never heard that. Yeah. I've never heard the self-confidence.
Because you have to study it. That's like all this, the music, rap game, whatever, however you want to put it. It's all it's all about hitting the books. Kind of like how you were hashtagging in your post. I appreciated that too. Mm-hmm. Just because you have to look into it. It's a self-confidence thing. We haven't done it for so long, so people are so hungry to the point where they don't want to support their own people. You know what I mean? Yeah, nobody wants to support each other because it's they think if I'm supporting him, I'm taking away from myself. You know what I mean? It's a self-confidence issue. It's something we need to work on, honestly.
And you know what? It's funny you say that because, we put together, like I said, I work with three artists, Brianna Marie. And, she says the same thing. And this is why we started this whole thing. We hooked up with Dwayne Denning. We started this hashtag ASA, hashtag artists supporting artists. We're trying to break that culture of people, they come to your shows, they hook up with you at your show, they smile on your face, everybody's all happy finding Dory at the show. But then after the show's over, now you hear this coming in your ear or you hear this coming in your ear. It's look, I'm just trying to help people put them on. You know what I'm saying? It's a tough situation. Go ahead.
That's what it is, because self-confidence breaks that. I'm telling you, I've looked at it so many different ways, and it always goes back to self-confidence. It always drives it back, because exactly what you're saying, when people are seeing each other, they're smiling, we're at the show, because that's what people want them to see.
Right.
You know what I mean? So that, again, goes back to self-confidence. If you're not self-confident, you want to do what everybody wants you to do. If it's publicly, privately, it doesn't matter. You know what I mean? Your private thoughts are, I'm not going to support anybody, but publicly you have to, because that's what, you know what I mean? Self-confidence. Again. So.
It's funny because, you do see a lot of people saying the same thing that you say and other people say it, but it still hasn't been done yet. When Joyner first really blew up, the first thing I hated was going on Facebook, and then all of a sudden when he decided to do a music video in Worcester, all the hate came out, and I was like, what the hell is this all about? And I'm like, here's a brother we've been waiting for the hip-hop game to get to this moment. He's on MTV with Eminem in this video. He comes back home to shoot this video. He invites everybody out to shoot it, and then all of a sudden there's all this hate. And I'm like, what is it with people with this hate? I'm going. I'm saying to myself, I'm heading out there. I don't care. I got to support this.
Right.
He's putting everybody on. Now you all want to flip and say, oh, I heard people on Facebook talking about this new Will video. I'm like, why? How can you hate on him?
So why?
Exactly what we
wanted. He did it. That, again, I know that's just I sound like a broken record, but that's, again, self-confidence issue. They can't handle, they needed to find something wrong, and that goes deep into our sports, and I'm not even going to get into all of that, but it's just Boston people, we cannot handle anything that doesn't happen for us sometimes, you know what I mean?
So you think it's not just a Boston music thing, you think it's a Boston overall thing? You think it's kind of like we're spoiled where everybody's better than everybody because the pages have been so successful, everybody wants to get on theirs and nobody else, kind of. So it's kind of bred into that.
Most of the time, yes. Which I never thought of it that way, and it does make a lot more sense. It's not just music; it's just Boston attitude overall, and it's just all that energy at one time. You know what I mean? You have all that negative energy, you know what I mean? That fend for myself, self-confidence issues, you know what I mean? You put all that together and they're just going to, create things everywhere, really. It's not just going to hit one industry or one, you know what I mean? It's the people. Now you became a people of that, of not supporting people and being entrepreneurs or just successful, really.
Wow, that's deep. I like that. Oh man, I'm gonna have to really mention that when I share this. So when you're out there now, promoting music, I see you all over Facebook. I see you all over YouTube now with your video. Ton of hits.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to be playing your 2 hits after this interview. But I got to talk to you about this video, Petty Juice, because I remember I want to say it was about 6 months ago. You were just like really starting to work with this song. You haven't even shot the video yet. And you put like a couple of verses out there. And I heard the verse. I reached out to you like right away. I was like, damn. I was like, whoa, you coming with that? And I was like, oh, I can't wait till this is done. I can't wait till this is done. And then you put it all together. What inspired you about this Petty Juice? Because it's almost kind of what is here. It's what you were just talking about.
See, what Petty Juice is like, all right, so if you're talking like 6 months ago when I did the freestyle, it got like the 20,000 views or whatever, when I was talking about dropping the project and everything like that, I just kind of like, I wanted my own saying. I wanted my own thing to like, so I was trademarking a saying, you know, like me sipping Petty Juice, like why I made that song, why I'm naming this project, that is just, I'm doing me and I don't care who it affects. You know what I mean? It doesn't, me, I'm doing me. So if y'all want to, you know, feel this way or feel that way, that's cool. I'm just going to be sitting here sipping Petty Juice. That's just what I'm doing. You know
Vianna Marie, I got to give a big shout out to Vianna Marie Artist. She's in the chat. She just put a ton of thumbs up to what you just was saying. So I
appreciate it. Thank you.
And the idea of the video, how did you come up with that? Which looks good,
that was just, it was just, I don't know. I was actually, that trip, I'll tell you a really quick story. So I don't even really live in Massachusetts anymore. About 2 years ago, I ventured out into Ohio. That's where I've been living. That's why I flew out to Boston to shoot that video. Mm-hmm. And I knew Hush Harden, shout out Hush. I was like, he could just do something for this song. You know what I mean? We could do something and just, you know, get it together. And as soon as he heard it, he kind of knew. He was like, this is hot. You know what I mean? And we just were like, let's just keep it simple. Like, just like Respect Over Fame. Like, I just wanted to keep the video simple, strictly about the music and strictly about the visual. I don't have to do the most, you know what I mean? The music does the most. That's what it's for. The visual is just for me to be there. You can see me. That's it. You know what I mean? I don't need to have a whole bunch of people in it, and no, none of that.
And to be honest, sometimes just keeping it simple kind of gets the message across. Sometimes you see people with videos with everybody in the video, and a lot of stuff kind of gets lost in the video because they've got way too much stuff that doesn't need to be there. And you see that time and time again.
Exactly. And wouldn't it be better? This is how I look at it too. Wouldn't it be better to be like, oh, you know, he blew up because his music. No, he didn't blow up because of the thing that was in his video. You know what I mean? I just don't want to be that guy that's like, oh, he made it because he had, I don't know, you know how it is nowadays. People do weird things in their videos, you know what I mean? And then they're known for that one thing they do. You know what I mean? It's like, I don't want to be that guy. I don't want to be there.
Right. And it's funny because if you do go back to some of the most classic videos that are just pretty much timeless, some of those, if you had to look at the top 10 videos that were just timeless, some of them are just your basic, simple videos. And that's how it was, you know, and, you know, it's just the most simplest thing, you know. Granted, in the 90s, we had, you know, that there was that whole thing about having a storyboard and all that stuff, but the majority of great videos are just basic, good videos where you can just focus on the lyrics and that rapper can convey the message that he's trying to say. Like KRS-One. Right. You go back to KRS-One, you know, KRS-One's videos were just simple. If you focus on that beat, his lyrics, and that was it. And timeless videos right there.
Right. So right. Exactly.
And your second track, Respect Over Fame, we're going to be playing that too. Let people know a little bit about that one. And
Respect Over Fame, I dropped that one before Petty Juice.
Mm-hmm.
That was kind of a statement. That was my first video I've done in a while. And I just wanted to, like, since I haven't been home in so long, like me and my family went back to Boston for about a week in March, but I dropped Respect Over Fame in February, and it was kind of just like, you know, I didn't change. I still put Respect Over Fame. You know what I mean? Like, it hasn't changed just because I left, and you know what I mean? Anything like that. I just wanted to know that it's still the same mission, just a little bit older now.
Nice. Now, we got a lot of people in the chat here. I got to say what's up to Paul Forrest. Paul Forrest is listening to the show. As I said, Vianna Marie, she's hanging out here. Artists supporting artists. Melanie Richardson, what's going on? Carrie Lynn Blake, what's going on? All out here in the chat. If you guys got some questions for him before we bring in this music, H.M.M.F, Haters Make Me Famous. If you got some questions for him, drop them in the chat. Real quick, before we get into this music, where can they find you? What's your social media? Let them know how to jump on you and get your music in their ears.
You can look up on YouTube, H.M.M.F Music. It's my whole page. Again, that's H.M.M.F Music. And it will show my videos. I have singles on there. Older, newer, everything. You can also go on Spotify or iTunes, and look up H.M.M.F. You can look up H.M.M.F on Facebook and follow my actual page, artist page. And, it has from that. Yeah, that's everything.
and you dropped this video. What day was it? Like Thursday or something? And the hits you're getting is just crazy right now. Right?
Well, actually, that wasn't even me sharing it. That was, a page, Independent Dope. They have over 700,000 followers. And they shared it. They've done that for me in the past, for another video that I got about 20,000 on. And
nice.
Yeah. Yep.
Nice. So what we're gonna do here, we're gonna probably get into these two songs, play these two songs for everybody. But I want people to know exactly what are you doing during quarantine right now as an artist to just kind of stay busy, not kind of get stale. Let some other artists or people out there who, as I said, we talked off air about what's going on with my artist, Vianna Marie, but let them know what you're doing, how you survive, and there's no shows. So what are you doing with your time?
I'm mentally attacking. Right now is for when everything is quieter, the streets are dead, there's not that much cars and just things going on right now. Just kind of find pieces of yourself that you just haven't found yet. Just perfect the craft. Get ready to hit the studios. Get ready to hit the shows. Just don't stop. You know what I mean? Let this time be like a building, that next level you that you don't even know you have yet. You just gotta find it. You know what I mean? That's kind of what I'm doing.
Yeah, because unfortunately there are some artists out there with talent who are taking this time and they're not utilizing this time, and then when this all comes back and they find that they fell off and they have nothing to show, they're gonna regret this time. It's actually not the time to be lazy. It is the time to focus and maybe go something, like you said, go someplace where you've never gone before musically, and it's a pretty decent time for artists and stuff. Granted, it's not about doing the shows right now.
It's a mental thing.
Right now, are you utilizing anything? Are you still trying to go live and things like that to stay in touch with your audience on Instagram and stuff like that?
I try to go live as much as possible. I do, since I'm promoting a lot right now. I'm trying to, just kind of share a lot and then all that kind of stuff. I think I'm actually going to start a podcast.
Okay.
Maybe once a week or something like that, just to, like you said, stay in touch with people and just kind of like a different element of, of the industry. You know what I mean? It's all entertainment at the end of the day. So.
Right. Yeah. Cause it's going to be a complete shock fest when things open back up and it's going to be crazy. People trying to book shows, venues, get their outlet going. And I don't think people even realize what is ahead of them, to be honest. I don't think everybody, like you talked about it, everybody's a certain way here in Boston. It's going to be, I hate to say it, it's going to be crazy when everything opens back up.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And so you think it's crazy now. So what we're going to do here, I'm going to let you talk about these two songs real quick, introduce these songs. I want to thank you for coming on the show, man. And
thank you. I appreciate it.
No problem. Good stuff. like I said, guys, we got rapper H.M.M.F, Haters Making Me Famous. He's going to introduce his 2 songs here, and then we're going to let him go, play his 2 songs, and then I'm going to be back and get into this show for the rest of the night. So, Dominic, man, let them know what they're about to listen to.
First one's going to be Respect Over Fame. Second one is called Petty Juice. You can find them both on YouTube under H.M.M.F Music. And get ready.
All right, man. So I'm going to play this first track, then we're going to get ready to get you out of here. And, hey, anytime you want to come on, give us some new music or whatever, let me know. We'll get you on here and let you promote yourself. But thanks for coming on, man.
Yep, thank you. I appreciate it.
All right, take care, man. Peace.
Petty as fuck, I don't care. I should feel bad, but I don't. I'ma go light up the smoke. Used to treat me like a joke. Now they want hard on my post. Stop with the work and the boast. Cushion the air and so's my nose. Enemies close, but so's my bros. Right from the concrete I rose. Pour out a camera, I bet that they pose. For real. Ain't no place in my soul. I turn the tray to a O. Why you talking out your hole? Bro, go hit with the pole. I got the pack for the low. You wanna fight me? Let's go. I knock 'em out with a blow. Remember you flicked on the show? Remember you said you would go? Remember that button you hit on your phone? I'm at the top of my game. They wanna talk on my name. No, I ain't tucking my chain. No, I don't fuck with you lames. I put respect over fame. Yeah, and I said the same. They wanna say that I changed. They wanna say that I slid on my lane. And they wanna hate on the city I claim. But they cannot say that they feel the same. I'm at the top of my game. They wanna talk on my name. No, I ain't tucking my chain. No, I don't fuck with you lames. I put respect over fame. And I said the same. They wanna say that I changed. They wanna say that I slid on my lane. And they wanna hate on the city I claim. But they cannot say that they feel the same. Put it on my city, put it on my county. Money on your head, I can pay the bounty. I ain't never changed. This is how they found me. Rappers getting mad, bitches getting pouty. Future getting brighter, diamonds getting cloudy. Supported with silence and now they get mouthy. I thought we was in it till you try to out me. I followed the rowdy, now it's getting rowdy. And they wanna act like I wasn't body. You couldn't count up the shit I mounted. I swear that I went out and climbed every mountain. I kicked down the doors of the people that doubted for real. Hey, if you don't know, I never switched up. I've been the same kid with the mixed cup in the basement with that lip blunt. I'm at the top of my game. They wanna talk on my name. No, I ain't tucking my chain. No, I don't fuck with you lames. I put respect over fame. Yeah, and I said the same. They wanna say that I changed. They wanna say that I slid on my lane. And they wanna hate on the city I claim. But they cannot say that they feel the same. I'm at the top of my game. They wanna talk on my name. No, I ain't tucking my chain. No, I don't fuck with you lames. I put respect over fame. And I said the same. They wanna say that I changed. They wanna say that I slid on my lane. And they wanna hate on the city I claim. But they cannot say that they feel the same. Hey, what's good? Petty as fuck. Not supposed to make me have to make example of rappers. Yeah. Don't make us do it. Not supposed to make me have to make example of rappers. Everybody talking moves, but I be getting to it fast. I'm a fall down pass, I'm a drop out pass. And I'm the same motherfucker from the basement with a bang. 2 phones slang. They gon' probably hit me with a bill when I'm late. Like I owe Mary, take the chips to the bacon, to the lyrics, to the cadence. Like they made my whole style, but it didn't. Why they faking? Why they lying on my name? Bitch, I'm lying with the main. And now I bring fire to a lane. I made a promise to my mama and a promise I'll be flowers to the grave. Like, hold up. Sipping on petty juice. Sipping on petty juice. Sipping on petty juice. Sipping on petty juice. They wanna beat me, they join groups, and groups join groups. And oops, dog, they still lose. I'm letting it all loose. I'm having my cake and I'm eating the shit too. Treated like a school, I'm breaking all of the rules. I'm shitting on all the teachers, start telling me what to do. I see with a different view, I eat in a different room. I'm hotter up in the booth, I bring it straight to the hoop. In the way that I be dripping, you think I came out of pool. So they don't want a problem with me. Hit your body, shit is anybody, everybody. Good shape with the paper, shit like origami. And the fans try to get me, but I know they watching. I can see them through the blind, see them through the tent. Wearing sweatpants, so really I don't think they fit. Money stacks in the print for the dick. I mean, it's so washed up, they ain't even had a lick. I mean, I'm sipping on the petty with the cake and the confetti. Got the product from the Medi and the profit from the celly. Never tripping, never lacking, I was with it, always ready. Up to 5 a.m. with the work in a Chevy. Hey, sipping on petty juice. Sipping on petty juice. Sipping on petty juice. Sipping on petty juice.
Sipping on that petty juice, knock you all your tennis shoes. Yeah, I always win and I never lose. This bitch just had his shoes thinking that she Betty Boop. till we roll up in BMWs. I'm in the club, sure you wanna talk, let it through. If you knew better, then you do better, boo. Your chick getting scooped, just doing Nike swoosh. Ooh. Check the view from the telly room. We roll bomb trees, need no laundry. Steam notes on me, kilos, not key bumps. We no fiends, no skis, Sub-Zero won't freeze. December frost and I never thought your girl pussy went soft, make cherries pop. Chip surf so I never cough. More secondhand smoke than a mountain club.
All right, I got to thank rapper H.M.M.F. Haters Make Me Famous for coming on here. That was his 2 tracks for us. Respect Over Fame was the first song. Petty Juice was the second song. And again, I got to thank him on rapper H.M.M.F. Haters Make Me Famous. Check him out. Real name Dominic Pappas. He's actually in the chat right now. He's going to be dropping his links as he was listening to the show. So he was actually dropped in the chat. So hopefully he'll drop those links in there for you. All right, so gonna get into this show for tonight. Topics for tonight: coronavirus update in the national, local news here in Brockton, City of Champions. 593 people confirmed with the COVID-19. We've had 34 deaths. The big news around here is that landlords have filed eviction notice for up to 100 residents in this city, but the court system is saying that wasted time right there. So I'm glad to see the court system stepping up and already telling these landlords that they're not going to be evicting anyone during this time while this government and country has come to pretty much a complete halt. So kudos to the court system on that one. There's a lot of banks and stuff now that are stopping mortgage payments. People are kind of worried that when the economy starts back up, they're going to hit people with this one big balloon payment due. I can't see that happening. I think the government is going to step in on that one, and I don't see them allowing that to happen either. They'll come up with something so people get eased back into this, and we move along. In Massachusetts, coronavirus updates, we have 26,867 confirmed, 4,316 recovered, 844 deaths. In the United States as a whole, we have about 588,000 confirmed, 44,000 recovered, and we've got around 24,000 deaths here in the United States. Worldwide, we're inching up to that 2 million confirmed, around 465, 466 recovered, and we're at 120,000 deaths worldwide. So it's up there. It's made an impact. You're seeing it, all over the place. People passing away. We've got some couple of stories coming up of people who, right after this topic, celebrities and people who are well known passing away from COVID, and it's tough because everybody's debating all these things, and we're going to get into it in Trump troubles. But look, I get it. People are saying, well, everyone who's passed away, they're older, or everyone's passing away, they've got underlying conditions. I get it. You can say that all stuff. But guess what? If coronavirus wasn't here, and if it wasn't attacking their respiratory system, and if it wasn't shutting that respiratory system down within a matter of 3 to 4 days after getting that fever, guess what? Then that person may have been able to fight that underlying condition of cancer, or might have been still fighting that underlying condition of asthma, or maybe fighting that underlying condition of diabetes, or maybe fighting that underlying issue of heart disease. You know what I'm saying? So it'd be like if I contracted it and I pass away from COVID, but I take high blood pressure medication, and somebody's, well, Keith was on high blood pressure medication, so that's actually really why he died. It really wasn't the corona. No. If you have cancer and you're battling cancer, you're going through treatment, and you get corona, and if your lungs fill up and they're attacked and that virus spreads in those lungs, and you die from choking on your own vomit because of lack of oxygen, it's like drowning. It's like drowning. but not being in the water. That is not the way to go. And for somebody to kind of downplay that for political reasons or say, they're trying to push. No, they're not pushing the numbers up. We're on Facebook. Everybody's faced with this. We're seeing people more and more now post about people that they know that have gotten it. We're posting a lot of people now that are passing away from it. And it's a very sad situation. Anybody who downplays this or tries to say they had underlying conditions, you know what? Think about this. You've got people who are dying alone. When my mom passed away, she had the whole family was pretty much around her when she passed away. A lot of these people who are passing away, there's nobody allowed in the nursing homes. There's nobody allowed in the hospitals. So not only are these people passing away alone, the funerals are also limited. Some places they're not even having funerals, like in New York, where they're just taking all the bodies, and if the bodies isn't claimed at a certain time, they're going to a mass grave. So people are even being denied funerals, and families are being denied to properly put people, to rest. And that's something that's going to stick with you. So think about this, people, when you say, oh, well, they had an underlying issue. Guess what? It's not just about that. Imagine not being able to see a loved one or be by their bedside. For some people, that hurts. Some people will take that for the rest of their life and take that pain and can cause issues with that person for the rest of their lives, a mother or a father or a child. So please, please, please respect other people. Don't downplay this. You know what I'm saying? A death is a death. And, we were going back and forth over my Facebook page. And speaking of deaths and coronavirus, Bernie Rubin, well-known co-founder of Bernie and Phyl's, died of coronavirus at 82. Great life. But again, he was living his life well. He's an older gentleman. He's passed away now through COVID-19 complications. And the thing about Bernie and Phyl is I remember them in my early days back in high school. And I remember when Bernie and Phyl started, Channel 56 was their commercials. And a lot of people called Bernie Rubin crazy, because at that time in 1983, Jordan's furniture was, you bought all your stuff from, everybody went to Jordan's furniture. And then I think that was also around the time where they were just getting ready to open up their big, gigantic Avon location. So when Bernie and Phyl started in 1983, there were a lot of people who said, this man is crazy. There's no way that he is going to tap into that Jordan's empire. But guess what? They did it. They had a quirky little beat, quality, comfort, and price. That's right. Remember that? You'd be sitting there on Saturday morning watching Creature Double Feature, and that commercial would come on for Bernie and Phyl's. And he'd be there with his wife in their store. At that time, they had that little store. You know what I'm saying? They had the couch sitting there, and they had that, they did their little spiel together, and they were a fun couple. And then at the end, quality, comfort, and price. That's nice. And you remember that you went to bed with that hook in your head. Quality, comfort, and price. Bernie and Phyl's. So you got to give kudos, props to Bernie. Rest in peace, Bernie Rubin, for doing something that a lot of people in New England here said couldn't be done. You took on Jordan's furniture, and you were able to survive and build your own empire. And it had a humongous store of their own. So big props to Bernie Rubin. I say Paul Forrest. What's up, Paul Forrest? He said great points. Ariane Wirtz is watching. What's up? So it's good stuff. Good stuff. In the entertainment booth, we're going to switch over. We had another passing 16-year-old actor, Logan Williams. For those who don't know who 16-year-old Logan Williams is, he is the young Barry Allen on the show The Flash. So whenever they had the flashback scenes or things when they were going back to where Flash was younger, Logan Williams was the actor who played young Flash. He passed away at this time. There's no release at the cause of his death. There's nothing said. And it's scary because when you see things like this of people of a young age in Hollywood, the first thing you think of is either a possible suicide or maybe drugs or something. So I'm just praying, I'm hoping he just had a health issue, but I'm hoping it's not what we usually end up seeing with somebody in Hollywood. Also, we've got some deaths coming up in sports news, but we'll mention it then. Also in the entertainment booth, WWE is deemed essential to the state of Florida under the Essential Services List EO 20-91 from the Division of Emergency Management. Now, For those who don't know what we're talking about, the state of Florida has listed them as an essential business. We all know that wrestling is sports entertainment. So they have deemed them necessary for, the structure, the business and people down there. So if you go on our Facebook page on the booth, I actually put a photo of this paperwork direct from Division of Emergency Management of the state of Florida. It's actually on our page. You can check it out and see why the WWE, and it's not just the WWE, it's other businesses in Florida too, which are deemed essential. So don't get it twisted. It's not just the WWE. Also an entertainment booth this past Saturday night. Man. Mega producers RZA of the Wu-Tang Clan and DJ Premier squared off in a beat battle this past Saturday night. It was on DJ Premier's webpage. Actually, it was on his IG Live, too. That's where we watch it. We watch it on IG Live. And the event was put on by Versus. Now, Versus is the creation of Swiss Beats and Timberland, who also went at it on the first week that they started this whole thing. And they've had Little John against T-Pain, and I believe Little John took that one. Now everybody's trying to get 50 Cent and Ja Rule to get on here and battle rap for rap and see who wins that. But, a lot of people, they were talking about it this morning on Hot 96.9. Nobody seems to think it's going to happen. Both these guys' egos are way through the stratosphere. And, a lot of people feel that they wouldn't be able to stick to the rules of what they need to stick to. So we'll see. We'll see what happens, though. But like I said, last Saturday, sat down, went on Instagram Live, and for 2 hours, these guys rocked the spot with some old school jams. What they did was they set it up, and each rapper had to play a beat, and they had 20 beats each, and then there was a winner at the end. And they actually went over and played some more stuff, told some great stories. Wow, we heard some great stories. DJ Premier told a story that I'm familiar with because I went through the same thing when I first heard it. But DJ Premier talked about how he was at a bar with two members of Onyx, Sticky Fingers and Fragile Star. And this was before they even had really kind of blew up. But a DJ there had put on Protect Your Neck by the Wu-Tang Clan, which everybody knows is just a classic banger. And I guess Onyx had already knew RZA and those dudes from Wu-Tang, and they were like, this is their song. And DJ Premier was like, whoa, like, damn, this was crazy stuff. So he told that story about, how they were together. RZA told some great stories about how he came out of his comfort and he did some stuff. And then DJ Premier dropped that Christina Aguilera joint that he did for her that everybody forgot about. But it was a great battle. For a while there, DJ Premier was up on top in this battle by like 3 beats. And then RZA went into his old dirty mess stuff. He dropped the Mary J, All That I Need. And that was like an uppercut, And then he dropped this joint that he did with Nas. And this was the one that he took the lead. He dropped this joint that he did with Nas back in the day that not many people ever heard. I guess he went to either Nas came to his studio or he went to Nas's studio or something. And it was just a mess around thing. And they did this track and man, fire. What's up, Dennis? I see you in there. So it was great stuff for 2 hours. It took my mind off a lot of stuff during this quarantine to see that battle. So man, Legal Booth today is I'm going to give you guys some homework if you haven't seen it yet. Legal Booth, Netflix, How to Fix a Drug Scandal. That's going to be the Booth's legal homework. If you check it out, let us know how you think of it, what you like about it. But it focuses on the mass drug lab scandal around the lab chemists Annie Dukin and Sonia Farrak. And look, from a legal aspect, this is a humongous historic story. If you don't know anything about this story, you will be completely blown away as what happened behind the scenes, and explains why a lot of people of power are no longer where they are. People like Martha Coakley, and a few other prosecutors and some other people. And I almost feel like Deval Patrick ran out of here quick because of this scandal. So I don't know if anybody else has seen it, but it is a great documentary. It's available on Netflix. If you're in quarantine, if you're looking for something to watch How to Fix a Drug Scandal on Netflix. Check it out. It is a great friggin' documentary. It's like 3 or 4 episodes. And I tell you, I blew through them all right away. They were great stuff, great interviews with people from around Massachusetts, greater Massachusetts, Boston area. Great stuff. So if you get a chance, How to Fix a Drug Scandal on Netflix. Okay, heading into the sports booth, everybody. Sports booth. XFL files for Chapter 11 just days after suspending operations and laying off its employees. The XFL follows pretty much a typical legal template and files for Chapter 11. Now, a lot of people are saying, oh, they're done, they're good. Look, Chapter 11 doesn't necessarily mean that the XFL is done. Toys R Us filed for Chapter 11. They came back out of Chapter 11. There's a lot of companies that file for Chapter 11 to protect themselves from debtors, from people coming after their products and taking everything from them and liquidating them. So Chapter 11 is to protect them. So right now they filed for Chapter 11. It protects their product. And we'll see where Vince McMahon does with this. Seattle was the biggest input into this league money-wise, and then they have some other people who were involved with this organization, this league. But the league ended on a very great note. Look, they were halfway through the season. There was a lot of talk about where this season was headed. We had a team in Houston Roughnecks who was undefeated. Quarterback P.J. Walker was just tearing up the league. And as you all know, P.J. Walker was one of the first guys signed when the NFL was allowed to sign these players. P.J. Walker went right to the Panthers. He will be competing with Teddy Bridgewater for that starting job over in Carolina. So it's going to be pretty interesting. But look, people, it's not dead. Don't write the XFL out. There was a lot of people involved with this. There were a lot of people happy with the product. The XFL and the NFL were holding hands together this time around. They weren't blacklisted. And the XFL was good football. It wasn't wash-ups. It wasn't no names. This league was filled with guys who were just cut from rosters the year previous in the NFL. It had a lot of kids who had come out of college and was sitting on the bench like P.J. Walker, but just didn't get that start. He was just 2 years out of the NFL. These guys that played in this league have a lot of life left in football. So don't be surprised if the NFL drops in and maybe picks up this league and makes that their G League. That the NFL has been looking for some other project to bring overseas or something to invest in. So don't be surprised if you see the XFL come back. And look, if you hear it, you just let everybody know you heard that here first. Some sad news in NFL. NFL quarterback Tavares Jackson was killed in the car accident in Alabama, 36 years old. Tavares, we all remember he played with the Seahawks, the Vikings, and the Bills. One guy had a hell of an arm. He could scramble on the run, but, very bad car accident down there in Alabama. So I got to say rest in peace to Tavares Jackson. Also, NHL forward Colby Cave of the Edmonton Oilers underwent an emergency surgery this past weekend. He had a bleed from a cyst on his brain. He didn't recover. He died on Saturday morning. But a lot of people around here in Massachusetts remember Colby Cave because Colby Cave had been here on the Boston Bruins and was a member of the Providence Bruins for almost 3, maybe close to 4 years down in the AHL. So rest in peace to Colby Cave. His death is not COVID-19 related. Also passing away, Hank Steinbrenner, the brother of George Steinbrenner, owner of the Yankees, co-owners. He was the general partner and co-chairperson of the Yankees. He died Tuesday. He had a lengthy illness, and he was in Clearwater, Florida, surrounded by family members. He was 63, and they've also said his death is not COVID-19 related, which they put out there because that's what everybody wants to say. Steinbrenner was in his 13th year as general partner and 11th as co-chairperson. So rest in peace to him. Next. Oh, man. I don't know if you guys are all still with me out there. I see people out there in the chat. Look, We haven't pulled it out in a while here. Got to pull out the apology podium. Gonna have to let my man pull it out, explain what happened here. NASCAR's Kyle Larson of Ganassi Racing, Chip Ganassi Racing, drives car number 42, was racing this weekend in a virtual I-League. Man. And he was in the Monza Madness iRacing event, which was live streaming live on Twitter. And unfortunately, like most people witness or hear while playing online, Kyle Larson dropped the N-bomb. Not only did he drop the N-bomb, but he dropped it during a live broadcast, which he was suspended for the next day. Actually, he was suspended that night. Late that night, they actually had suspended him. Then he lost sponsors right away. He lost Credit One Bank and he lost McDonald's. Once he lost those two sponsors, they took a deeper look at it and they fired him today. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to give him his chance for dropping this N-bomb, and I'm going to let Kyle pull out that apology podium.
There's a car on the low side, clear inside.
I can see it. You can't hear me? Hey, you're getting...
Oh! Oh my gosh!
No way!
Oh!
No way did that just happen. Kyle, you're talking to everyone, but...
Yikes!
Can you tell us anything whatsoever? I know you just give us.
Yeah, I just want to say I'm sorry. Last night I made a mistake and said the word that should never, ever be said. And, there's no excuse for that. I wasn't raised that way. It's just an awful thing to say. And I feel very sorry for my family, my friends, my partners, the NASCAR community, and especially the African American community. I understand the damage is probably unrepairable, and, I own up to that. But I just wanted to let you all know how sorry I am. And, I hope everybody is staying safe during these crazy times. Thank you.
You're fired.
You're fired. Just like that. Fired. As Chris Rock would say, I don't give up. I feel bad because, look, when you're on Xbox, when you're on PlayStation, when you're playing online, you hear it. You hear it all the time. And I got somebody, Christopher Paul, who's on my Facebook page, when I posted the link about this story. I had just had this incident happen to me online this weekend. Somebody was in the middle of a match. We were playing a game, and somebody, as usual, goes and plays music loud, and somebody says, hey, turn that end music off. And, I didn't say nothing, but I knew it was one of his friends or whoever he was involved with. And, he handled it, and he told me that he was going to take care of it. This day and age, you just can't be throwing that around. I got people in the chat, Brianna Marie saying good for him being fired. Kerry Lynn said rightfully due. She said there's just certain ish you just don't say. and it's funny when you go back and you listen to the clip, and you hear the one guy, he said, yikes. Like he knew, he knew what he was about to lose. Like Kyle Larson lost it all. And the thing is now it's hard because if you're a team that decides you want to go and pick Kyle Larson up, it's going to get real interesting. I'm hoping on Whoobazoo, I'm hoping the guys from Drafting the Circuits, I'm pretty sure they'll be touching base on this Thursday night. So if you want to make sure you want to jump on Whoobazoo on Thursday night, want to check out Drafting the Circuits, I'm sure they're going to speak on that one. And it's tough because NASCAR and iRacing, IndyCar, they both just dropped the prices of their video games for everybody who's home and on Corona quarantines and, so you could play their game. They just dropped the price. And unfortunately, it's stuff like that hurts your product as a whole. As soon as and I've been a NASCAR fan. I'm a black guy. And I've been a NASCAR fan for a long time. I've been a NASCAR fan since I lived in the projects in Boston, growing up watching Wide World of Sports. So, I've been the butt of jokes. I've heard it all about, the circle and taking another left, and things like that. So it's a tough sport to be involved with, knowing that, a majority of those people in that sport, they don't even like, they don't like you or whatever. There are some African-American races in there right now. You got Bubba Wallace, who's out there tearing up the track. But, it's one of those stigmas. It's one of those things that's out there. A lot of people are like, well, why does it surprise anybody that he said it? He's a NASCAR race driver. Really, honestly, we really don't want to put every NASCAR guy into that spot. I mean, I can't speak for Kyle Larson and the type of person he is, but obviously NASCAR and his team, his team felt there was something there because they fired him. They suspended him one day, and then not even 24 hours later, they fired him. So they found something there that they weren't happy with. For me, I felt like, well, maybe, he's a young kid. He's 27. Sometimes what happens with these young white kids is they grow up, they listen to rap music all the time or whatever. They hang around amongst themselves in groups, and they think they can just drop that N-word around while they're with each other online or whatever. And they just think it's coy to just drop it. But realistically, it's not. It's not right to drop it. And some could say, well, did he make that mistake? Is he that type of kid and made that mistake? Well, I don't know. I can't speak on it. That's just my opinion of maybe what happened. But guess what? It's cost him his sponsorship, and it's cost him his race team. And it's one of those things is he going to get picked up by another team? Because it's almost like once your brand is hurt, is anybody going to pick you up afterwards? And it's a tough one. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. So, again, I got the apology podium. We hadn't pulled it out in a while. So, Viviana Marie said, too bad he has a huge following. He has a responsibility to not be spreading hate with his platform. Good for his team for having morals. Yep. Yeah, his team. And again, like I said, you don't want that stigma, that element. NASCAR race car drivers already have that stigma attached to them as being rednecks, as being racist already. It's just, unfortunately, it's like that. And he just fed right into what they're trying to get away from. I mean, when NASCAR comes here, they had racers who came and went to the inner cities and was giving kids tickets and bringing them down to see the cars. And they were trying to do their best to get, people from the inner city involved with NASCAR. But unfortunately, that stigma is there. And some of that fan base is there. You go up to New Hampshire, and you see the Confederate flag flying in the midfield, or you see the Confederate flag on the cars. So it's there. So let's see what we got here. Oh, I got to get flying along here. Trump troubles booth. There's a couple of Trump trouble booth things here that we got to talk about. Open or not to open. If you watched last night, the big talk was trying to return life to normal. But more and more states in the Midwest, in the middle of the state, are now beginning to start their stay-at-homes as this coronavirus starts to take a hold of those states within the middle of the country. So we're going to see another influx of deaths and those who have been infected. So this isn't over at all by the most part. Massachusetts is trying to say that they might be ready to open by late May, early June, but we don't know that yet. They've got some issues here now where people in China are now seeing a flare-up again. So now we got to keep an eye on that again, because they were low and then people went back out to doing things and now it's coming back. This is what we got to worry about. So, again, see what happened. Also, last Sunday, Trump, we saw this little thing between him and Dr. Fauci. I've been telling people from day one, when you watch these press conferences, you can feel the tension between them. Trump had tweeted this thing about Dr. Fauci being possibly fired again because of his comments in February. But look, Dr. Fauci was straight on point in February. He had saw what he saw in China. He wasn't sure what we had. But then when he saw how fast it got to Italy and how it spread fast in Italy, and it was right after the incident with the Pope shaking hands and the Pope was sick, Dr. Fauci said, wait a minute, I got to look at this a little bit deeper. And then his tune changed, and he began to spread that word about how dangerous this was, and this became the one disease that he was scared of. And then they kind of discredited him, and now we're at where we're at, and this is where we're at right now. And it's getting even uglier because now the WHO, World Health Organization, which people are accusing them of being in bed with China and not giving us great information. Just before we went live on the air, Donald Trump has announced that he's cutting all U.S. funding to the WHO for their part in this. So, he's really looking for people to blame in this stuff. Look, I'm not even going to get it. It's not even worth about it. Also, in Trump Trouble's booth, well, it's 2 days of Democratic news. Why? Bernie Sanders stepped down. Bernie Sanders is out. And what he has done is today he has announced, this week he has announced that he is going to back Joe Biden. So he endorsed Joe Biden. And it's almost like Die Hard 2. How does the same ish happen to the same guy twice? You know what I'm saying? Those who follow politics, you know what I'm saying? Did we not see this back with Hillary Clinton? Did the same ish not happen? It happened. It's happening again. So he's endorsing Joe Biden. And then today, former President Barack Obama, he put his stamp on it. President Barack Obama comes out and he endorses Joe Biden. I put an UGG on my Facebook page, and a lot of people were wondering why I put an UGG and this and that, because I wasn't feeling Joe Biden. I wasn't feeling Joe Biden from day one. I had my people that I liked. The Republicans weren't about to put anybody up against Donald Trump, so you really didn't have the best man for the job. It was either going to be Donald Trump or whatever they had in this cluster F of Democrats that they had from day one. It was like 23 something. I don't know. When they first started, it was ridiculous. But during that time, I did have three people that I kind of liked. I really liked Andrew Yang, and I really liked Tom Steyer out of New Hampshire. I really liked those guys because those two candidates were talking about things that I could relate to and things that I was talking about that I felt needed to be touched upon in this country. And some of that stuff is like automation, jobs being lost to automation and things like that, and where I wanted to see this country go as a whole. But again, both those guys dropped out, and now we are faced with what we have. And we're faced with Joe Biden. It's going to go back to pretty much my feeling goes back to how it was with Hillary Clinton. I didn't like Hillary Clinton. I wasn't a fan of Hillary Clinton. But the one thing that I felt was a positive with Hillary Clinton was I felt that her ethics and the way she worked in worldwide politics. Dominic Pappas, what's going on, man? Nope, no problem. I thank you for coming on the show. Ryan Johnson is watching. He dropped his links to his YouTube. That's Ratchet H.M.M.F in the chat. Haters make me famous. But again, I wasn't a fan of Hillary Clinton. But when it came down to it, I felt her knowledge of worldwide politics was better than Donald Trump's. And right now, to be honest, Donald Trump has proven again and again that he's not the greatest at worldwide politics. Yeah, everybody loves his rah-rah, it's all about America type of thing. But you know what? You've cut corners and you've cut ties with people who have been there to support us. The other press conference he just had was he talked about how everybody's been taken from America. And you know what? It's going to hurt us in the long run. So we'll see. We'll see. Like I said, I'm not a fan of Joe Biden, but unfortunately, I'm going to have to see what both these guys say. One thing is I'm going to vote regardless. A lot of people, when we had Hillary go up against Donald Trump, there were a lot of people who were like, I don't like both people and I'm not voting. Really? That doesn't help anybody either. So I'm not voting, I don't like either one. No, that's not what you do. You have to figure it out, and you got to vote for somebody. You just can't not vote and not let your vote be counted, because what happens is what happens. So get out there. You got to vote. I know there were some people out there want to know why I was saying over Joe Biden and President Barack Obama endorsing him. And I wasn't over Barack Obama endorsing him. I was ugging because it's Joe Biden, and I'm not a fan of Joe Biden. And unfortunately, Barack Obama has to co-sign on it. He's the last of the Democratic presidents who was in the House, and he has to do the same thing he had to do with Hillary. He has to endorse her, and this is where we're headed. So we're headed for Joe Biden, and we're headed for Donald Trump. And I'm not sure, did Elizabeth Warren come out and endorse Biden yet? I don't think she did. She backed out, but I don't think she's endorsed Biden yet. I'm gonna have to Google that. If anybody's in the chat listening to the show, if you remember Warren has come out and endorsed anybody, let me know. I wasn't even a fan of Warren. I didn't even vote for her, and she's from the state. So let's see where we're at. I believe we're almost ready to get the heck out of here, to be honest. We're at 8:07, so I'm a little bit over. We went real good. I got to thank everybody for calling in the show and hanging out with us tonight, all you people in the chat. Got to thank my man, Dominic Pappas, for coming on the show. Rapper H.M.M.F. Great interview. Talked about some great stuff. Let us listen to 2 songs, Respect Over Fame and Petty Juice. Make sure you roll over and check them out on their social media. Make sure you check them out on YouTube. And again, artists supporting artists, especially during this time. A lot of these people, look, they make their money doing shows. Some of these people, they go to shows and make their money off of selling merch. And right now, a lot of these people have come to a complete standstill. There's nothing going on. There's no merch to be sold at shows. You got to try to push merch online. You got to try to push everything pretty much online and pretty much stay relevant. So it's a tough time for artists out there. So pretty much try to support them. If you like their music, share, check them out, give them some views, do whatever. But look, I got to thank everybody again for tuning in to the show tonight. And I got to say, make sure you tune in next week. And you know what? SpongeBob, do me a favor. Take us home.
Well, see you next Tuesday.
Thanks for tuning into the booth at Whoobazoo.com. Please make sure to tune in for more booth next Tuesday night at 7 p.m. New York Eastern Standard Time. Become a fan on their Facebook page and check out their podcast on iTunes and iHeartRadio. The Booth is a Sinista One production hosted by Sinista One, Ken Diesel, and R Squared.
I've got to start hanging out with friends that are a little more intelligent and understand politics and stuff. It's just that I'm up on this level up here, and all my friends are down here. Me, nah. You guys, nah. Maybe a little more down in here. Screw you guys, I'm going home. Who?